let's talk about the Sephora paradox. That's where you go to Sephora and you buy a couple things and you're trying to rationalize yourself. You're like, I didn't even buy all that much stuff. I'm good. I didn't do too much. And then you get home and you're like, shit, I spent $200. Hello guys and dolls, and welcome back. Today I'm doing sort of a collaborative haul with Loeylane. When we were in New York last week, we went to Sephora not once but twice. If you guys want to go ahead and check out her video, I will have that linked in the description bar down below, or if you want to go ahead and click that right here. We were just having a ball shopping, and I think that like going to Sephora when you're on vacation is probably not like the best use of your time, to be honest with you. But when you're with somebody who also loves makeup and you get to makeup shop with them, you can't help go not once but twice. I mean, kind of gotta do it. And the other thing too is that in New York there's multiple Sephoras, and there was one on I think 5th Avenue that was just beyond beautiful, and we had to visit it just because the store itself was so beautiful. Like a beautiful huge store, and it has like 1.5, 2.5 stories, because there's like sort of like a catwalk that runs the length of the store where there's like the Anastasia brow bar thing. Downstairs there is skincare, and then upstairs there's fragrance. So it was just like, oh, it's amazing. So Sephora. I was like, Sephora. So if you were popping over here from Loey's channel, I just want to say a quick hello to you, and hopefully you'll like my videos and will subscribe as well. I'll have a link in the description bar down below to a good kind of sampling of my channel. The first night that we were in New York, we were just like, let's go out, let's go do it, let's just make it happen. So we walked from our hotel to the, I think it was the Times Square Sephora, although there's two Sephoras in Times Square. We were on the one that's not the main one, I think. I don't know. Honestly, New York kind of confuses me. But anyway, we went in there and we were just like looking around, and we were still like kind of jet lagged and like, whoa. So the things that I picked up there tended to be kind of like skincare type things, because I needed some skincare stuff. So I picked up this Sephora Pearl Eye Mask. I had never tried these before. I'm much more of a fan of the more like gel type of eye masks. I think that they do a little bit more in keeping the moisturizing in. This one was more of like the kind of like cloth feeling one, but it actually worked. It did work. I do like the others better for like deep mega hydration, but this definitely did the job. It definitely made my under eye a lot less puffy and definitely more moisturized, because from being on the plane my skin got really dry, which I'm still feeling the effects of to this day. The next thing that I picked up were a couple of masks, which is funny because I bought these and then I was like, well, I want to use them, but like I want to do a haul video with them. So I did not in fact end up using them. I did use the Boscia mask, which I purchased prior to going to New York. I used that, and oh my god, that thing made my skin so amazing. I love that. It's the one that's like a jelly texture, and I think it's called like the charcoal clay mask. God, that made my skin delicious. This one called Karuna Hydrating Face Mask. This one's for dry, dull skin, which I could actually use right this minute because my skin is like mega dry. And I think part of it too is that in New York, the air there is so humid that while we were in New York, my skin was beautiful, which is fantastic. It was like plush and pillowy, and like I didn't get a zit. It was amazing. And then I come home and my skin breaks out and it's dry and it's gross, and I'm like, The next thing I picked up was actually kind of perfect for my skin in its current state. This is the Dr. Jart Clearing Solution. I've heard really great things about this for the ability to heal acne overnight. So I have very high expectations for this, although I don't really expect it to like clear up every pimple I have overnight. But this one also is supposed to be like an ultra fine microfiber sheet that's supposed to be as thin as like a hair. I am very excited about this. This one was $9. I think that this one might have also been in that range, and the eye depuffer thingy majig, this was I think $6. So definitely not the cheapest way to treat yourself, but it's certainly a lot cheaper than going to the spa. So the next thing that I picked up is a Clarisonic brush head, which normally I just don't even include in hauls because it's like totally boring. Like, hello, I'm just getting a refill on my same brush head I always buy. It's not exciting, it's not interesting, moving on. However, there is one I want to talk to you guys about. So, and this kind of needs a little bit of explanation. So I have the Clarisonic Mia, I think this is the Mia 2, yeah, Mia 2. That is what I have. beautiful hot pink, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I like this one because it's smaller and it was cheaper than the full-size Clarisonic, but there are a ton of brush heads for the Clarisonic brush that say that you can't use it with the Mia. They say that they are like specific to either the Clarisonic or Clarisonic Smart brush or whatever, and so I've just never broken the rules. I assumed that there was a reason why they wouldn't work, but I got a little bit rule breaky when I was in New York, and I'm like, well, why? Why can't I use them on my Mia? Is there like is the threading different? That's what I thought. It was like maybe the threading is different and they wouldn't go on. So I decided, you know, I'm just gonna buy it, and if it doesn't work, I'll just return it. Sephora has a very generous return policy, and then I'll know. So I decided to go ahead and get this brush head. This is one of the brush heads that's meant to be used with their smart system. This is actually a pedicure tool, so you can use this on your feet to remove calluses or just anywhere else in the body that you have extremely rough skin. For me, that would be my feet. So I picked this up and I was so happy because it actually works on it just like anything else would, and it does a fantastic job of, kind of gross to talk about, it does a really great job of getting the calluses off your feet, which is fantastic because when I arrived in New York I realized I hadn't had time for pedicure, so I could kind of make my feet somewhat presentable. But this next thing that I want to share with you is kind of funny. This is something that Loey pointed out to me. I think Loey and Michael, because Michael of course was with us while we were doing all of our shopping. He is a saint, by the way, for like going makeup shopping with us, not once but twice, hello, when we were in New York, and just listening to like our girl talk, babble, blah blah blah. And he's a doll and I love him so much. He is the best. In fact, we are going to be doing a separate New York haul that is just the stuff that we got, which is like not makeup related, so go ahead and check that out because he got some really cool nerd stuff. I got some cool vintage stuff. I will have, well, that video's not up yet, but it'll be up in a couple days and it'll be awesome. But anyway, this is something that I picked up because, hello, bright bold colors. Kat Von D, this is called Metal Crush. This is their new eyeshadows. They had like, I think 3 or 5 colors or something like that. And this one really caught my eye. First of all, it's called Danzig, which of course makes me think of the Misfits, and I was like, yes, I need that eyeshadow like right now. So it's a absolutely beautiful blue based purple eyeshadow with sort of like turquoise sparkles in it. Hopefully that is reading on camera. Oh my god, it's so pretty. But here's where it gets kind of tricky. So when I came back from New York, this amazing palette was in my P.O. box, the Stardust palette by Vegas Nay and Too Faced, and there's a color in here called Follow Me that's pretty similar to Danzig. They're not an identical dupe. Follow Me is more of a warm tone purple, and Danzig is sort of like a little bit cooler toned, a little more blue toned, but they're pretty much identical. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it now because it's almost identical to this other one that I have, which is fantastic and I used for today's makeup look, so look out for that in a couple days. But I love the name of it at the same time too. It reminds me of the Misfits, which is one of my favorite bands, so it's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to keep it. Screw it. It's already here. I don't even care. I mean, I probably have so many dupes for other things too, but with purple eyeshadow, I feel like it's maybe okay that it's a dupe because I love purple eyeshadow so much. While we were over there and swatching them and looking at all the colors and everything, Loey asked me, and I thought it was such a good question, it's something I thought I'd bring up to you guys because I'm sure you guys are going to have the same question, if these are similar to the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows, and the answer is no. This one has much more of like a traditional eyeshadow-like texture. It's sort of like a nice, soft, frosty eyeshadow, regardless of the color, which by the way is freaking amazing. Hello, deep purple with turquoise sparkle, I'm all for it. But the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows are quite different. These almost feel like a cream eyeshadow, so they're definitely a different texture, and I thought it was something that would be worth mentioning and kind of explaining because I knew that would be, you know, since Loey was like, oh, is it similar? And I just thought, you know, maybe the rest of the class would like to know. Anyway, I digress. Moving on, speaking of Kat Von D, this is something that I didn't actually get in New York, but it's something I've had for a while and decided to finally haul for you guys, and that is Kat Von D Love Everlasting Liquid Lipstick, I think is what these are called. This is a really great, you can just really see the color really well on camera. This is a beautiful magenta purple lippy. These things are ironclad. You put them on, you have to take like industrial solvent to your lips to get them off. Not really. Usually, I'm kind of making it sound like it's a negative. Just most makeup removers will take them off, but they really last all day. One thing I really like is because I have a lip scar, it can be difficult to find a lip product that isn't going to travel out into, you know, the regular skin and kind of make me look a hot mess. These ones actually stay in place, which is fantastic, and they don't bleed out. And the only issue I usually have is sort of like a wearing away towards the inner part of the mouth, like from eating. But boohoo, oh well, too bad, so sad. I gotta reapply a little in the center. The outside stays nice and crisp, and that is just fantastic for me because the feathering issue has been an issue my entire makeup life, and I finally found a product that doesn't do that. I have a little story to tell you guys with this lip gloss. This is NARS Chelsea Girls, and I have like a double story, so like saddle up and get comfy. So I wanted to treat myself to something a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't gone makeup shopping for pleasure in forever for obvious reasons. I decided to go to Sephora and just find some kind of treat, and I wasn't really into buying any new foundation, even though there's so many great new foundations out on the market. My skin is sort of in between because I'm sort of still healing from my sunburn. I was thinking something like a lippy would be good, so I was at the NARS display and I saw this beautiful lip gloss called Chelsea Girls. And I fell in love with it instantly. I've never bought a NARS lip gloss before, but I have admired them for a long time because they don't have a scent and the texture seems to be really, really beautiful. And I always like the way they look on other people, but I've never found a color that I was willing to pay that much for because they're kind of on the pricier side. I don't remember right off the top of my head exactly how expensive they are, but they're somewhere between $20 and $30, which is kind of a lot of money for a lip gloss, let's be honest. My point is that I fell in love with it and they didn't have it at my local Sephora, and I was like, why? When we were in New York, the first thing I did when we got into the Sephora is I kind of beelined it to the NARS display, and they had it, which is even more perfect because on Saturday night when we were in New York, I spent Saturday night in Chelsea with my friend Samantha and her husband, so it's like even better. It like reminds me of that time. I think I might have even worn this to dinner that night, I can't remember, but it's just like the fact that it's called Chelsea Girls, it reminds me of my trip to New York. It's sort of like the perfect makeup souvenir, really, and the color is gorgeous, and I'm like and so many stories with this. This also pairs perfectly with my favorite lip liner from MAC, which is Boldly Bare. These two are like best friends, seriously. If you like Boldly Bare, you will love Chelsea Girl, and likewise, if you like Chelsea Girl, you will like Boldly Bare. They go perfect together. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. The last two products I want to share with you are two eyeliners from Marc Jacobs. Me and Loey were kind of having a moment swatching and like talking about all the Marc Jacobs stuff, and she was like, oh my god, this palette's amazing, and I was like, no, but this palette's amazing. This is the Tease. I don't think I've ever shown this in a video before, but I bought this last year for my birthday. My grandma sent me birthday money, and this is what I used to buy it with, so I always like say that my grandma bought me this palette. It's beautiful. I love the colors. Anyway, so she was showing me a different palette. I can't remember the name of it, but I was like, dude, that looks kind of amazing. Anyway, so we were swatching all the eyeliners together, and I was like, I'm just gonna buckle and get a couple of these. They're really expensive, but it's kind of like, I'm here in New York, might as well just kind of, I will allow myself to go a little ham. So I only bought two. I could have bought so many more. I wanted to buy every single color. I haven't really checked out the Marc Jacobs highliners before. These are amazing. Oh my god, I'm in love. So the two colors that I got are in the buff, and I'll do a little swatcherino. I'm gonna do kind of like a large swatcherino for you guys so you can really see on camera because it's hard to see eyeliner. It is a beautiful, beautiful like blonde champagne color. It's a little bit lighter than what I would typically even call champagne. What you can't see on camera is that there's multi-dimensional shimmer in it, which is like amazing. I am wearing it on my inner rims today, like right here in the corner. I also have some glitter on, which you'll see in the tutorial when I post it. And then the second one that I picked up is called Jazzberry. This color is beautiful. I would describe it as a plum. It is almost like a plum with like a copper breath in it. It's not quite copper, but it's got like this warm undertone to it. So it's kind of like the sister cousin, but whatever. Similar to Rockstar by Urban Decay, which I absolutely love, but Rockstar has a little bit more of a brown base and it's a tiny bit cooler than this is, whereas this has a warmth to it which is just radiant and fantastic. And I added this one just about right here to my, well, you know what, you'll see in the tutorial where I put it, but both colors were fantastic and I couldn't live without them, and they were the types of colors that I really feel like I am going to wear often, so I'm going to get my money's worth out of them, versus buying like a hot pink eyeliner that I probably won't wear every day, and so it's not worth the, I think these are like in the $30 range or something for these. I can't remember exactly. I knew that it was more than I would normally spend on an eyeliner. One thing that kind of disappointed me when I picked these up is that they're sort of like a twisty thing, right? So I'm like, oh cool, wait, but this kind of sucks because I can't sharpen it. Well, kids. this actually comes with a sharpener at the bottom. So it kind of stinks because you're going to waste product trying to sharpen it and get it to that point again. But on the other hand, you have the ability to make it sharp again, which is fantastic. This one also works really well on the inner rim. It looks beautiful. That is it for my New York haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to encourage you guys to check out Loey's haul. I'm excited to see it myself because while we were shopping together, we didn't see everything that the other one bought, so it's going to be interesting to see what she went ahead and picked up. So if you're new to my channel, I want to invite you again to subscribe and check out my other videos and see if you're interested in my channel. And to my longtime subscribers, I just want to say a big thank you for sticking with me. I know I haven't been super consistent for obvious reasons, and I'm starting to get back into it. I think the New York trip was really good for me. You're having a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and listening to my blah 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 about makeup and my stories about my lip gloss and everything. Really, I appreciate you guys so much. You're great. And have a great day, and check out Loey's video, and I think that's about it. Have a wonderful day. Remember to be vintage or tacky. Just be your own kind of beautiful. See you, bye.